Today in this video, I'm just going to take you through a quick summary of what I did on these on this patio landscaping. I pruned these rose bushes, if you want to call them pruning. It was probably more like just a cutting back of the roses because they had gotten a little too big. But I did prune this crepe myrtle right here because my rose bushes were blocking it and I couldn't really get to it. But I think I've got everything back in good shape right now. So we'll just go through a couple of days of what I did through the cleanup. I won't show myself in there doing much, but I will just show you the results of what I did each day. So here we go. Yard work again, getting motivated to clean this area up. I think I'm gonna try to get started on it today. I've got my truck and trailer out here so that I can load up pretty easily and haul off what I cut, try to not get too far ahead of myself so that I won't have a pile left around. But these are knockout roses. I think I missed them last year, so I'm gonna cut these back pretty drastically. Then after I get those cut out and cut back, I'll get in there and start working on that crepe myrtle. And after we do that crepe myrtle, next thing then we'll be going and getting some pine straw and put the pine straw in there so that we can make it look presentable. So I'll keep you posted on this as we go. Well, this is day 2 of the knockout rose cleanup. Hopefully I'll get the last 3 bushes today. It's a little cool and I've got a little lunch appointment today, so I don't know that I'll make it, but I did get 4 of them done yesterday. And out of those 4 bushes that I trimmed back, and you can see how much I'd have to trim back based off of this one right here in the front and these 2 over here on the side. You can see how much I had to trim back. So that's going to be the project for today. And then after I get that done, I'll probably try to come back in here and smooth it out a little bit. Maybe spray a little bit of Roundup for this poison ivy that I have in. I hope I don't get into it today, but there's a good chance. And then after I get that done, I'll come back in here and work on this crepe myrtle. And with the crepe myrtle, you've probably heard me say before, I like an odd number of stems, either 3 or 5, so you can see I've got a lot to take out. And I'll probably break out my pole saw to do that, make it a little bit quicker. And then after I have the main ones that I want gone out, then I'll come back with my hand shears and trim it up to give it the same effect that I have on the crepe myrtles that I have on my driveway. So that's what's happening today. Well, I finished up day 2 of trimming back the rose bushes. I've got those down pretty good. I think it was 6 trailer loads off of those 7 bushes, so I thinned those out pretty well. I think tomorrow I'll be working on the crepe myrtle, and I've got some orange flags that maybe you can see in there for the stems that I want to keep. And then I'll try to get the rest of them out, and I may even try to pull those in together a little bit. I don't know how. I've done it before. After it gets thinned out, I'll see if I think that needs it, and we'll go from there. So after I get that done, get some of this ground leveled out, I've got 10 bales of pine straw over there that we can spread out and see if we can get this area shaped up pretty good. And then you always see something else, and I'll work on these beds over here. So I may come in here with some Roundup and spray. I had a little bit of poison ivy in here, so I'll spray that down, make sure I get that out pretty well. And while I'm at it, I'll hit those 2 beds over there so that those weeds will be easier to pull. So day 2 wrapped up. All right, we're at day 3. We've gotten a little bit of dirt moved, got all the roses trimmed, finally got that crepe myrtle limbed out. You can see how much of the suckers and things I got off across the driveway over there. I got me some pruning sealer, so where I cut them at the bottom, I'm hoping that sealer not only will help heal them up, but it'll maybe stop some of those suckers from coming out. But anyway, I ended up with 6 stems. I usually like to do it in odd numbers. There's one more, that one leaning out to the left. I guess I could take that out and get down to my odd number 5 like I want, but I'm gonna see how that goes. I may do that next year if I decide to. My next thing I've got to do is just try to figure out whether I want to try to tighten these things up like I did on some of the ones I had on my driveway, where I would take some ratchet straps and put around and pull those things in tighter, not enough to make them break, but there's enough elasticity in them to get them to pull up. Then wrap a towel or something around it, and then just wrap it up with duct tape and pull them up, make it look a little bit more formal since it is right here in the backyard. You can see I had my tractor out. I had some real humps in here where the dogs had been kind of digging out, so I just took my front end loader. I'll rake that back out and smooth it out. And then I think we'll be ready to start spreading a little bit of pine straw. Whoop, I got some Roundup I've got to do, so I'll do that next. Got my pine straw over there, and this was the tractor that helped me out with my front end loader. It was a whole lot easier than doing the shovel. So I have a little bit of an attitude problem when it comes to doing something with a shovel. But hopefully the next thing I'll be showing you is the final product when I got it smoothed out and the pine straw down. Here with the final scene of working on the knockout roses and the crepe myrtle that I had right here. This is around our little parking patio that we have. Like I said, it was, I think the other day I may have said 6 trailer loads. I don't really think it was but 4. It may have been 5, I'm not sure, but it was enough, whichever one it was. But anyway, we got that taken care of. So like I said, I missed it one year. You can see right there that I did try to pull those crepe myrtle stems together a little bit. I actually took a ratchet strap and pulled them up, and I put those old rags around it so that we wouldn't be harming the bark. And then I just went around there after the ratchet strap got tight and didn't use anything but a little bit of duct tape to hold it. And as it goes with that elasticity, and maybe for 4 or 5 weeks, I may be able to do it again and bring them up a little bit tighter. I would like to have them a little bit tighter. If I could get them in another 4 or 5 inches, I think that would be the effect that I'd really like to have. And I'm hoping where you see these black spots, that's where I put that pruner seal on and really did it heavy at the bottom, so maybe we wouldn't quite have as many suckers. But it was a little early too to do this, but I had the time and the mood hit me, so that's what I did. We got the yard cut today, or the backyard portion of it. I usually try to do my grass cutting in about 2-hour blocks. As you can see, I go way back behind the barn, do this right here behind the house, have that up there in front of the house, and then I've got my driveway, and I'm going to be doing some limbing next week on the driveway, see if I can get some of those oak trees shaped back up a little bit. So I'll do those oak trees. There's 6 of them out there, 1 right here in the front yard. It won't need a whole lot. This one will need a little bit. And then I've got these on the back side. That'll need quite a bit. And when I take those branches off, I'll just drag those out, try to face them one way, and then I'll take that tractor that you saw the other day with the grapple. I took the bucket off, I'll put the grapple on it, and then I can just pick those up. And I figured it'd be a good time. I could go ahead and get these crepe myrtle stems there, those few pear limbs that I have up there, be able to pick those up. Just trying to get ready for the fall before we have to start doing the burning. Now, when I was doing the crepe myrtle and the roses, I had some hand shears, and I also had some gloppers, as well as the pole saw. If you'll go to my website, I'll link the website, and I think I have each one of those in there for you to look at and decide if maybe that could be something you would need. I don't imagine, just from a standpoint of just yard owners, unless you're out on the farm and got some trees and things to work, you probably won't need a pole saw. But the gloppers are a good thing to have, and those hand shears, they work out pretty well.